In this week's mug desserts recipe video, we're going to learn how to make a simple brownie for one in your mug at home. As you can see, just like last week, I've already got my supplies ready. I have my mug, my fork, and all of my measuring spoons. Everything has already been washed and cleaned, including my hands, of course. Now we're ready to start adding some of our dry ingredients. To start this recipe, I added most of my dry ingredients to the mug first. That includes 1.5 tablespoons of cocoa powder, 3 tablespoons of sugar, 3 tablespoons of flour, and a tiny pinch of salt. If you picked up a kit from the library, yours already came in a bag all together. You'll just need to carefully dump it in your mug. If you're at home, you can use the recipe sheet to measure it out for yourself. Once you get everything in the mug, you're going to take your fork and you're going to start stirring all of these dry ingredients together until they're well blended and all of the lumps are gone. This is important because sometimes when sugar is in its package, it can develop lumps. So can cocoa powder, and we don't want lumpy brownies. So you're going to mix everything together until it's a nice, smooth, blended mixture. See, that looks pretty good. And then the next important step, one of my favorite steps, is you're going to add some of your chocolate chips. You don't want to add all of them right away. You want to save some to put on top of your brownie before you throw it in the microwave. So we're just going to throw in a few. And then we're going to go ahead and blend those into our powdery mixture until they're nice and spread evenly through. Once you get your dry ingredients nice and mixed up, you're going to add your wet ingredients. In this section of the recipe, I added 1/4 teaspoon of vanilla extract, 1.5 tablespoons of vegetable oil, and then 3 tablespoons of 2% milk. You can use any kind of milk you want, whether it's dairy or non-dairy. I just used what I had in the fridge. Once you have all of the dry and wet ingredients together in the mug, this is probably the part where it's going to get a little tricky. You're going to stir it, but with brownies, it's really important not to over stir everything. You want it to be nice and evenly mixed. But if you stir your brownies too much, they can cook way too tough and chewy. So we're gonna very carefully fold everything over, get a nice even mixture where we don't see any more of that dry powder. We're just gonna keep stirring from the bottom to the top to make sure we get it nice and mixed up. Okay, I think mine is looking pretty good. And then of course, I want some extra chocolate on mine. So I'm going to throw some extra chocolate chips on top of my brownie before I microwave it. And now it's time to microwave it and see how it turns out. After microwaving my brownie for 90 seconds, I actually did not have to heat it again. I ended up with one perfectly gooey, chocolatey brownie. I'm super happy with the way this turned out. And of course, if you heat yours for 60 to 90 seconds and you realize you need a little more time to get it to the right consistency, you can always heat it some more in short bursts to make sure you don't burn it. Now, once your brownie is finished, you can top it with your favorite dessert toppings like whipped cream or ice cream and enjoy.